Hello, my collective. Let's go ahead and see what's happening for you in the next 30 days. Whenever you come across this will be a timeless message. So within the next 30 days of watching this video, what's coming in, what you need to hear about when it comes into the next 30 days. As always, this is a collective message, so take what resonates, leave what does not. If you are interested in booking a personal with me, the link to that will be in the description box below. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's see what's coming forward for this collective within the next 30 days. Let's pull 3 cards. What is coming forward? We're going to do the beginning, the middle, and the end for the next 30 days. What does my collective need to hear? All right, we have the eagle, we have freedom, we have the raccoon, resourcefulness, and we have the snake, transformation. There's a big change, okay? And the reason I'm saying this is because I felt with the eagle, as soon as I seen it, intuitively what I was really picking up on was like focusing on your freedom or focusing on something that'll make you feel free. And this could be financially, emotionally, physically, mentally. I do feel like there's a big sense here where it's like you're really focusing on what to change and using what you have to get there, right? Shedding the old skin. And that's kind of what I feel here with this snake. It's like with this transformation, when we see the snake, they shed their skin after they're growing. And so I feel like it's like you're really focusing on some change or what can change within the next 30 days, right? And so maybe you're kind of starting this, seeing this video or shortly after this video, you're really starting to make some plans for yourself. What's going to make you feel free emotionally, free financially, okay? Maybe in a physical sense, right? And it's like, okay, here's what's in my current reality. Here's how I can make the changes I'm going to use with what I have right now to get to where I want to go, to shed the old. Let's go ahead and pull a piece of advice for the next 30 days. The overall next 30 days, what is my collective's advice? We're going to pull one card. All right, we have reflection. Yeah, see, I was definitely saying, I feel that there's a big sense here where we're really paying attention what's going to make us free. And with this card, it's like you're being asked to reflect on recent lessons. What have they taught you? Reflection is a mirror to the soul's growth, okay? And so that's kind of what I feel is you're really making some changes within the next 30 days or really focusing on changes to make to get you to where you want to go. Let's go ahead and pull 3 oracle cards. Let's see, what are our 3 oracle cards? We're going to pull one for the beginning of the next 30 days, one for the middle, and one for the end. All right, 2 wanted to fly on out. So we have cross of faith coming forward, balance between effort and trust. You see, love that, surrender. We have shared journey, honor the transformation. And let's pull one more. I make my dreams real. Together we make magic. And then we have right here, I collaborate with spirit. See yourself as a part of the sacred web, giving life to your dream. I definitely feel whoever is watching this within the next 30 days or coming up, I definitely feel you're working on this. Like what's going to make you feel free? What's going to make you feel comfortable in certain ways, right? And this can be different for everybody because this is collective. But I already said that with this freedom card where it was you are really focusing in on what makes you feel free in a certain way or another. And this could be where it's like, emotionally you've been feeling very heavy. There's been a lot of stuff going on, right? Depending on when you're watching this, we are about to have Mercury retrograde. And so with the Mercury retrograde, I think the Mercury retrograde message was like really kind of having some reflection, letting things go. If things are being arisen right now, it's only because it's time to let those go. And Spirit's trying to let you know, like, hey, you're safe. And so with this, it's like, I make my dreams real. And I feel this could be in a job space. This could be in a career space. This could be an emotional space, in a physical space, maybe mentally. But it's like, it is time for you to really focus on what makes you feel not so surrounded in a box and kind of in captive or captivated, if that makes sense. And I feel spirits like really work with me, whether this be spirit, God, your angels, your loved ones, your ancestors. They're like, hey, really work with me, because with these two cards, together we make magic. I collaborate with spirit. This is saying, I want you to listen to your intuition and really push yourself to use everything that you have right now to get to where you want to go. And I kind of say this to people when they're like, okay, I want to start my personal business. Sometimes we think that we need to have a whole list of things ready to go, right? Or maybe this is where it's like, I want to make changes, but it's like there's this big list. You might not have every check mark on your list, but along the way, you will get there. You will start to check off these boxes. I want you to use the little resources or the beginning parts of this, right? And as you move forward, more things will start to happen for you. But Spirit's like, listen, if you work with me, if you talk with me, if you listen to your intuition, if you really start to kind of focus mentally on whatever this is, and that's a big part of manifestation, right? It's not just saying it, but it's really feeling that energy, really believing in that energy. And so I want each one of you to kind of sit with yourselves every day and really envision this self sense of freedom and whatever that means for this collective, okay? Let's go ahead and pull some tarot for the next 30 days. We're going to kind of do 3 rows. We're going to look at the beginning of the next 30 days, then we'll look at the middle and the end. So we're going to pull 4 cards for the beginning of the next 30 days for my collective. What's coming forward for the next 30 days? We're going to pull 4 cards to start, and then we'll go into the middle, and then we'll go into the end. And I do feel like there's a sense here too where it's like having authority, taking that spot of power, and this could go into others, this could go into yourself, where it's like you really trust and believe in yourself. You really are trusting in that intuition. You're having that courage, that strength to follow your dreams, your desires, your goals, no matter who or what wants to stand in the way, wants to tell you something. Let's go ahead and see what's coming forward for my collective at the beginning of the next 30 days. We're going to pull 4 cards. All right, we have Emperor. As I said that, right? There's the Emperor. There's that sense of authority. There's that Queen of Swords. There's that Fool. And then we have that 6 of Cups. For some of you, this could be something where it's like you've thought about doing this in the past. You've thought about this idea once before. And it's like, okay, now is the time to do so. Now it's time to kind of make that leap. And I do feel like this is a sense of like really rooting yourself. Where do you feel really grounded, especially with this Emperor coming forward as well? Really focusing on where you feel grounded, where you feel secure, where you feel empowered, okay? And I always say when I see the Queen of Swords, I view her as, and again, not talking male or female, but I always view this queen as somebody who is like, I'm going to get what I want, okay? You're focusing on yourself first, not to say that she is, it's more of that cold energy where it's like, I'm going to make sure that I have what I need. My resources are taken care of before I go over here and handle this, handle that. This to me is where I'm really standing in my truth. I'm really standing in this sense of trust. I really feel my power emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, spiritually. I feel my power. And with the Emperor and the Queen of Swords coming forward together, I really feel like there's a sense of power that you're kind of stepping into. You're very trusting in this, okay? And I kind of said that where it's like, have that courage and that strength behind your voice, behind your dreams, behind your goals, because that's kind of where I feel like that's where I want you to be. And so I think that's happening within the next 30 days. Either you're already kind of like focusing in on that, or, and this could be too, where you're finally setting some goals for yourself, all right? I'm looking to make this change. I want to hop over into this career path. I want to move here. I want to make a big financial move. Whatever this might be, I feel like there is a sense here where it's like, I'm stepping into my power. I'm trusting my choices. I know what I want. Nobody's going to tell me, are you making the right decision? No, because I know that I'm making the right decision, okay? And with this Fool, this to me is where it's like, I'm willing to make the jump. I'm willing to go for it, and I have a positive outlook. I want to relate this kind of into a child's perspective, not to say like child mindset, right? Because we do have that like sense of power over here. But when we're young, we have this big sense of imagination or that big sense of like, oh, everything can work out. And that's kind of where I feel like your mindset is like, I have the power to get to where I want to go. And this again could be something where it's like, I've thought about doing this in the past and here it is kind of returning to you. Okay, this could be a past energy where it's like, this is where I wanted to be financially, mentally, emotionally, physically. This is where I wanted to be, and you're finally getting there. And with this coming forward as well, I just feel like there's a big sense here of feeling very rooted or returning into a very rooted energy. Let's go ahead and pull for the middle of the next 30 days. Let's kind of see what's coming forward for the middle of the next 30 days. Let's pull 4 cards. What's coming forward in the middle of the next 40 days? Or 40, sorry, 30. Okay, let's see what's coming forward in the next 30 days. We're going to pull for the middle. 4 cards. All right, we have that Wheel of Fortune coming forward. We have that King of Cups. I really feel like there's a sense here where it's like you're feeling very stable emotionally. And to me, this is like on your wants, your needs, maybe emotionally, where it's like you've gone through a lot of trauma. You're kind of taking your power back. Yeah, see, we have that Star coming forward and the Temperance. Wow, for the next 30 days, any of my collective that is watching this, I feel it is very positive for you, okay? You are finally feeling like things are turning in your favor or like things are working out for you. You might feel like you're on a lucky streak, if that makes sense. And what I was just saying is like, I feel for some of you, this could be where it's like emotionally you went through a lot of damage and it's like, it really kind of took you down. It took you down from here, down a couple of steps. And it's like, that's here to change within the next 30 days where it's like, things are really starting to shift for you with this Wheel of Fortune. Things are starting to shift. I'm feeling very confident emotionally. Mentally, I feel very empowered in some way, shape, or form with this Star and this Temperance. I really feel like there's energy coming to balance, or maybe on something that you felt like you gave up on, or energy that you didn't think that you were able to reach. Right here, it's like you're kind of having that refresh. You're really feeling like, okay, I am capable of this. I can conquer this. This can happen for me. That's what I'm really picking up on. So I want to say at the beginning of whenever you're watching this, it's like you're really kind of stepping into your power. You're kind of learning that sense of power. And then the middle of like a week or 2 in, it's like really things start to shift for you. Some big things start to change. And it's like you're really starting to feel that stability emotionally where you kind of felt like giving up on something or you felt like something wasn't working out for you. You're getting that rejuvenation. You're getting that sense of push. For some of you too, I just want to say there could be a sense of a noticeability. With that Star coming forward, I feel like it's like if you were feeling like you weren't noticed in the past in some way, shape, or form, and it's just standing out to me too, is like there could be a sense of like feeling like you're being noticed or like there's some noticeability here. And maybe this is too, it's like you're speaking up for yourself emotionally. All right, let's go ahead and pull. How is the next 30 days? We're going to pull the end. How is this ending for my collective? How is this ending for my collective? We're going to pull 4 cards. Here's that movement, all right? There's that action. There's things actually moving. Things are moving in your favor. We have that 8 of Wands. We have the 10 of Pentacles. We have that Queen of Pentacles. Wow. And then we have the Hermit. I love this. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that has been learned. And then I just wanted to pull one more card just to see what would come out. And so with this Hermit, I definitely feel like there's a lot of learning. For some of you, this could be where it's like you're finally making some moves for yourself. And this could be, again, when I see the Queen of Swords, sometimes people can be like, oh, you know, she's pretty cold or she's like more for herself. And again, not talking male or female, but the Queen of Swords, that could be where it's like, I'm standing in this. I'm standing in my power alone. There could be a lot too where it's like you're going through a deep awakening. And I just feel like you're completing whatever you started. It's like you're completing this. I'm not in a sense of where I started. Like I'm closing the chapter of the old to start something new. And by the end of the next 30 days of whenever you're watching this with this 8 of Wands, there's a lot of movement happening for you. And this could be financially where you start to see a payoff here, where it's like you start to see a payoff here. And to me, it's like, you could have done this alone, right? With this Hermit, it's like, I did this by myself. I'm feeling very proud of yourself. Maybe I didn't think I could do this, but that's why I'm like up here. I feel like there's a sense of freedom, and it's like really standing in your power, believing and trusting in that emotionally, mentally, or physically. And just in general, I think all of the above. And it's like I'm standing alone in this position. Or maybe for some of you too, this could be like I'm making a move and there's a big sense of financial change in some way, shape, or form. But to me, this would be a good financial change, okay? And I think for a lot of you, it's like you're feeling very confident or happy. And maybe for some of you, it's like you're walking away from something in some way, shape, or form, and it's like worrisome. Am I going to feel at home? Am I going to feel comfortable financially? I just feel like once you start to make that move, you're going to feel very good. And if you're scared about doing something by yourself, I think you're going to be completely okay with it, all right, with this coming forward. But I definitely feel within the next 30 days, you're going to see the action of this. If you really stand in your power, you have this trust, you're going to start seeing that. And in places that you felt like giving up, or you kind of didn't feel like that things could happen or things were possible, I feel like Spirit's kind of giving you this sense of like rejuvenation, this sense of like, let's cleanse out that negative energy and replace it with something very positive, and you start to see the payoff here. Really stand in your sense of leadership and your sense of trust, emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, where you want to be, what makes me feel free and comfortable and confident. It really helps me feel grounded. This is where I'm going to get. And for some of you, this is like, okay, I'm making a goal a year out, okay? Or maybe I'm making a goal for the next 6 months. And it's like you really start to see the payoff of where you want to go in 6 months, where you're making a big sense of progress to get to your goal. Things are starting to pay off. I'm starting to see the movement and where I wanted to go, and I'm doing this by myself. And two, for some of you, it's like really realizing like what you are capable of, because with this Hermit, it's a lot about awakening or like kind of self-discovery, right? And I think that you're going to discover a lot about yourself. Like, I can do this. I can be financially comfortable. I can be emotionally happy. I can be stable emotionally, mentally, physically, and financially. I just had to take that step into this position. The things are starting to change for my favor. Where I was feeling stale, stagnant, I felt like giving up. I felt like maybe something wasn't meant for me. That's all changing, all right? I am sending you all lots of love and light. I hope you enjoyed your 30-day message. Take care.